Hey guys, my name is Skills from TanookiCraft.com, and I'm making a video today on a tutorial for factions. There's some questions on there on how to create a world that does not have the ability to be claimed by a faction, the ability to have power loss in a faction, like if you want to have a PvP arena or some kind of event arena or mini game where you want them to have fun, but you don't want them to lose power, then you can do that. You can create an entire world that doesn't lose power. You can create an entire world that doesn't have PvP. So I'm going to explain the way to do that here today. First of all, you need to have factions installed. Current version through Bucket is 2.3.0. You can get that from bucket.org or by Googling factions. If you just Google factions, it's going to be the first one in the list. So you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to have power loss and I don't want to be able to claim in a specific world. And you're trying to figure out the commands for that. You're doing fhelp, the normal thing that you would normally do when you're trying to figure out the commands and you see the list of commands, but you can't find anything to do that. Well, that's because it's not in game. You can't edit your configuration file like that in game. What you'll need to do is actually access your server folder, which can be found if you're running the server off your desktop. Then you just need to go wherever you have your folder set up at and running and go to that folder. Or if you're running off an FTP server, you need to open up your FTP connection, and from your basic folder, let me get back there because mine's not there. This is when I log into my FTP. This is my first thing I see. So in the main folder, you're going to see a folder called mstore. That's where the faction stores its information. Normally if you install a plugin, inside the plugins folder, which is right below it, you're going to have a folder with the name of that plugin. That's not the case with factions. There's not a configuration file that's easily accessible in that folder. You have to actually go to mstore. So if you go to mstore, you're going to see several things here that have to do with factions. And the one thing that you need to access is the configuration file. So what you want to do is click on factions _ m conf. That stands for configuration. So if you open that up, then you're going to have a file that's called instance. Now what you'll want to do is open that up into your text editor, which I'm going to do here. I've already done it once, so I'm just going to have to do that. Once it's open, you're going to have all kinds of settings that you can manipulate here. But for power loss and no claiming in a world, you can see those right here, along with no PvP or ignore PvP. These are the three main settings that people keep asking online, on forums, and when they're asking me about how to set up factions. Now, what you can do, when you open this, there's probably not going to be anything here except for maybe a couple of empty brackets. What you'll need to do is in between those brackets is add your worlds, the names of your worlds from your multiverse that you set up that you don't want to have claiming. And you do the same thing for your power loss, and you do the same thing also for your PvP that you want to have ignored in those worlds. Now, the thing you need to be aware of is this has to be spaced specifically. If you mess up on the spacing or another type of syntax error, then this isn't going to work right when you reload your server, and you're going to get errors and nothing's going to work. So just make sure that you keep with the format of the file that you open. Make a backup maybe before you do it, and just kind of play around with it till it does work. But that's how you do it. That's for no claiming, no power loss, and no PvP. Again, a lot of settings in this file, a lot of things you can manipulate and play with, so you just explore and have fun. I hope that helps you. And if not, leave a comment under the video, and I'll try to make another video to answer your question. Have a great day.